Another method of solving a quadratic equation is this idea of completing the square. Now, to complete the square on a quadratic, the first thing that has to be true is the lead coefficient has to be 1. Sometimes you can do this by pulling out the greatest common factor, but in this case that's not going to work. So the first step we're going to use is divide everything by that lead coefficient. So I'm going to divide every single term by 2. And that'll give us a polynomial quadratic with a lead coefficient of 1. So we're going to have x squared minus 3/2 x. I'm trying not to write it as 3x over 2 because we really need that 3/2 by itself. Plus 5/2 is equal to this 0 over here. Alright, the second step of completing the square is to kind of create a space right here. I want to add a different number than 5/2, so I'm going to move that to the other side of the equation. So that'll give us x squared minus 3/2. Literally leave a space here because you are going to put a number, and then on the other side make sure you change its sign. That'll become negative 5/2. Now the technique of completing the square consists of taking this middle coefficient and taking half of it. Don't multiply by 0.5, literally take half of it. In this case it comes in handy because 1/2 times 3/2, that'll be 3/4. So half of negative 3/2 is a negative 3/4. Now we're going to want to take that number and square it. So that'll be a positive 9/16. Now we just added 9/16 to the left hand side of the equation, so we better come over here to the right and also add 9/16 to balance the equation out. Alright, what this does is it creates a perfect square on this side of the equation. We're going to have x minus 3/4 all squared now on the left. On the right we'll just need to get a common denominator, which happens to be 16. Multiply top and bottom here by 8. That'll be negative 40/16 plus 9/16. That'll leave us with a negative 31/16. Alright, to finish off the problem we're going to go back to the method of the square root method. Square rooting both sides. Since this is a perfect square, we can square root it. And if we square root the other side also. But don't forget, when you square root both sides of an equation, one of the first symbols you want to put in is a plus or a minus in front of the answer side. Alright, so on this side we will get x minus 3/4 is equal to plus or minus the square root of negative 31 over 4. Alright, and to finish this off, notice that the common denominator here for both of these fractions is 4. So all we have to do is add the 3/4 across. Since it has a common denominator, we'll just write it 1. So we'll have x is equal to that 4 in the bottom. It'll be a positive 3 when we add it across. It'll be plus or minus, and then that I is going to come out because of the negative under the square root, and then 31. And that would be the answer.